Alright people, welcome back to the channel, and of course the Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer just dropped, and here is everything that we now know about the game. Of course there's an extended reveal coming later in next month, but here is what we know now. So before I go any further though, you know the usual YouTube thing, like, subscribe, all that, and let's go. So of course the game itself is coming out on November 15th. Now we knew that yesterday because it accidentally got leaked, but now we know for sure. And of course, like every game nowadays, it is a $70 game, and of course you need to pay more to play earlier, that you should do for some reason. I don't know why you do that, but again, that's your money, spend it as you please. But yeah, it's going to cost you $70 minimum. Now the game itself of course is set in Japan, something we knew. Now something that we didn't know before for sure is that the game will start in 1579. Now the game itself will take place in central Japan and will have a map smaller than Origins. This is something I derived from Access the Animus. Of course the big reveal point for the trailer is that there are two main characters. But for once, this is not a stupid approach for this franchise, because we have seen two types of approaches. One where it is basically two skins of a same character like Odyssey or Valhalla, and another where the protagonists are basically the exact same but just the character models are different, as in the Fry twins in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. But this time it seems these two characters are very different and actually have access to different playstyles. Now the first one of course is a female shinobi assassin called Naoi, and she focuses on stealth. I mean, she's an assassin, and of course she has the hidden blade. And not only that, this is one of the first things that is sort of inspired by Assassin's Creed 3. It's odd, but there is definitely some Assassin's Creed 3 stuff going on here. I'll get to that later as well. Now of course we saw that she can actually even fight with her hidden blade. Her hidden blade actually has the pivot mechanic same as Connor's hidden blade, and so she can use it with a small tanto, I think it is called, basically the same way Connor used his knife. And so for the first time in a long time, you can actually use hidden blade in combat. Now of course double assassinations are back as well, and thank fucking god for that, because it's been a while. Pretty much ever since Syndicate we didn't have double assassination. Now we did have chain assassination, but it is not the same thing. It is very different, and I'm damn glad that double assassinations are back now. Now of course Naoe also has some other tools. I know I'm butchering her name, but I'll get it eventually. Like, I've just heard it like twice, so I'll get her name right eventually. So yeah, she does have the throwing knives. I think they're called the kunai, and of course other tools as well. We saw smoke bombs and stuff on her belt, and of course we have other weapons as well. One of the weapons I've actually used before in a game, if you guys remember, called For Honor, and one of the characters in For Honor has that weapon where there's a sickle attached to a chain. And so yeah, I don't know the name of the weapon, but it's a pretty cool weapon to have, so I'm looking forward to that. And now we move on to the second protagonist, the one known as Yasuke. So for the first time we actually get to play as a character who existed in history, because that has never happened before. None of our protagonists have actually existed as historic figures, and so this is a good change, a nice change of pace, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now I've seen a lot of comments basically say that, oh, a 6'5" black man will surely fit in really well with the population. Except I don't know why people are saying that, because that's literally not the point of the character. In the trailer itself, we are shown time and time again that he's not the character who is going to slink in the back into the shadows and no one is going to notice him. We saw a girl literally just staring right at him because he just looked so out of place. And also we saw him destroying people with a heavy weapon, so clearly he's not the stealthy type. We do have a stealthy type, that is Naoe. She's an assassin and a shinobi and Japanese. So you want a Japanese protagonist who is also nimble like an assassin? We have that. That's the other protagonist that we have. So this is a guy actually did exist in history. Whether or not he was a samurai is being debated in Twitter, because of course it is, and I'm not going to comment on that because my knowledge of Japanese history is very limited, so I'm not going to talk about that. The one thing I will say is that this is a character who clearly was there in Japan at some point. He may or may not have been a samurai, but he was a sword carrier, and Assassin's Creed has never been 100% accurate with history. In fact, it is these sort of characters that usually Assassin's Creed plays with, like minor characters in the background of history. That's where Assassin's Creed shines. So if anything, this possibly is the perfect protagonist for Assassin's Creed. So we'll see when the game comes out. I mean, this is Ubisoft Quebec we are talking about. Writing has never been their strong suit. Now moving on from Yasuke, we did get another piece of intel, which is that there are spies across the world. Now at first I thought maybe it's just some people writing shit on Twitter, but then I realized in the trailer itself there is a scene where a person who is sitting almost exactly like Basim was in his trailer, well, he hands a piece of paper to Naoi and she then takes it to Yasuke, and clearly it's a plan to infiltrate and kill a particular target. So I think there are spies across everywhere and they will provide you intel for your missions for, killing people. So should I say killing people? Will YouTube get me for this? I don't know, but anyway, you get my point. Another feature of the game that we got was the grappling hook. We saw a lot of it. Okay, we just saw one scene of it, but it very much looks like a Sekiro-esque implementation of it, where she just grabs onto a preset point and hooks on. So not much we know about that, but that was there. Now of course we get dynamic weather as well. I mean, that's nothing new. We had dynamic weather in pretty much every Assassin's Creed game, but something that is new, or rather something that is not that new, is dynamic seasons. Now, this is the first time since Assassin's Creed 3 that we are again getting dynamic seasons, which is really, again, odd because we are seeing so much from Assassin's Creed 3, which I just haven't seen in any other game in the franchise before. Like, no one gives a shit about Assassin's Creed 3, at least not in terms of the other Assassin's Creed games. Like, no one gave a shit about Assassin's Creed 3, and now suddenly we have this game so many years later, which suddenly now is taking elements from Assassin's Creed 3. I mean, it's good to see, but I just didn't expect it, and clearly it's a good thing. Now another thing which we didn't really see in the trailer itself, but Joraptor says it's a thing and I have no reason not to believe him, is that the player will have a fully customizable player hideout. Now another reason why I believe him is because we already saw a mechanic like that in Valhalla. Now the one thing I will say about that is, please, for the love of God, actually make it so that it has something to do with the actual economics, because unless we are actually getting some money out of it or things like that, what's the point of doing any of it? Like, the whole settlement in Assassin's Creed Valhalla felt completely pointless because we got nothing in return. Like, literally most of the buildings were pointless in that game. Like, there was absolutely no reason to do anything. The buffs that we got from any of those buildings was basically negligible. And so I would like an actual economy, like the kind we actually used to have back in like Brotherhood, back in Assassin's Creed 2, like a very rudimentary version of Assassin's Creed 2, but we did have it. And you would expect that something like an RPG would take that into a new direction, except we never got that. So hopefully that's what's being implemented. Let's see, let's hope that that's what's happening. And if that's the case, that would be pretty cool. Now that's pretty much all we know from the trailer. I mean, it was a 3-minute trailer. What else do we expect? So well, now that we know all of this, do let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Are you sold on the game? Me, I'm not sold on it yet. I mean, some of the things that we saw in the trailer was pretty cool, but overall, yeah, they still need to sell me the game. They haven't yet. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Do let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like the video if you like it, and subscribe for more. And I will leave you guys in peace.